Alright. What's up, everybody? We are here with the round of 8, the quarterfinals of the ESL Summer Masters. REYNOR in the top right side of the map. An absolute monster who showed up to this tournament looking fantastic. But he is up against a player who, as long as his wrists don't harm him too much, is a beast. We've got BYUN. Down here in the bottom left side, he's going to be going for that low ground 2-Rax Reaper wall-off, which he is such a specialist at. And I really feel this style, I don't think it's the best opening on paper, but I think there is something about the advantage of being in the Zerg's face from the start, putting aggression on them, and forcing them to have mistakes. Basically, there's something about them just from the very start having Reapers there in their face, and then always something quite aggressive in the follow-up, or at least the chances for it with all the 4-Rax builds and that sort of stuff that can come out. Zergs make more mistakes against this, and REYNOR, he's very good at defending, and I definitely think he should know how to deal with this, but I feel like he's a player, if you give him too much room, he can get out of control, right? He's very fast, he's like insanely good at just getting ahead in the game and exploding, but if BYUN can just keep the pressure up, REYNOR might not be able to get his mojo going, and I feel that's really BYUN's goal here, is I want to disrupt your rhythm, I want to ruin your mojo, and that is my path to victory. If I can just interrupt your flow, you're never going to get into that unstoppable REYNOR state. We've all seen REYNOR when he's bobbing up and down, singing his Italian rap music, and he's got a big smile on his face, and he's just playing at like 400 or 500 APM, spamming his heart out, microing and out multitasking every single opponent he plays against. So I really feel like for BYUN, keep the pressure up, apply that pressure, never let up. That's the path to victory. On the other hand, I'm hoping his wrists can hold up because this is played on a big stage. It's a quarterfinals. It's the final day of the tournament. He's already had multiple pauses. He even had to forfeit a match versus Estrella in the earlier stage. It wasn't a match that eliminated him from the tournament, but it was a match he was winning. He looked like he'd almost won that match, and he had to forfeit due to the pain in his wrists. You put him now on the big stage, cameras on him, eyes on him, and that is always what triggers that pain. He doesn't feel it when he's at home playing online. But he said when the cameras are on and the lights are bright, that's when he starts to get this crazy pain in his wrists. They get really inflamed. And by the way, after this tournament, he has tweeted out saying, my fans are worried about me and I'm basically seeking treatment again, even though in the past, the experts said they couldn't find a cause for it. He basically said, well, we're going to go back and see if we can get a better answer. They were just like, it's a psychological thing. That's all it is. There's no physical cause that we can find. But at least he's going and getting second and third opinions now, so we'll see what they find. Reaper's doing some good damage. This is the 4-Rax build, guys. Do you think BYUN pulls SCVs here? I think that'd be kind of crazy. This is a big map, but BYUN is known for pulling SCVs with this version of the build. He's going to get a second tech lab to get combat shields as quickly as possible. The Reapers are getting surrounded. Oh, pretty slick Reaper micro, though. Oh my god, is he going to get the drone? Oh my god, he kills every single Zergling and the drone? Oh my god. Oh, 14 units have gone down. A drone, a creep tumor, 12 Zerglings. He hasn't lost a Reaper yet. BYUN. Oh my god, this is the 3 Musketeers right here. That's what we're going to call this, the 3 Musketeers opening. Just 3 Reapers into ruining REYNOR's day. Oh my god, another 2 tumors go down. REYNOR finally going to get revenge, I think. The Reapers, I like the way he jukes back and forth. Another grenade goes down. Does take out a few more Zerglings before he falls. Finally loses them, but he's delayed that third till past 4 minutes. REYNOR, he's got carapace on the way. He's got 2 bases saturated, but he doesn't have a lot of chance for economic progression from here. And he's going to be looking down at a 4 barracks mass marine attack. 13 Marines are out. Combat shield's only about 50 seconds out. I think we'll probably see BYUN push out in the next 20 seconds. Because, you don't want to wait too long with this. The trick is, as always, trying to disguise your move out. Moving out with a few Marines. And then hiding the second pack behind it to disguise your numbers. Don't know if BYUN's going to bother with that this time. Looks like he's not really going to. He's just going to shove out in one big ball. REYNOR, got to see this. Oh, okay, he spots it. That's a lot of Marines. Bailey Nest only about halfway done. More Lings are building. 5 Queens are out right now. REYNOR needs to react very quickly. He also brings Lings in behind. He's trying to see if there's an SCV pool with this. He doesn't see one. That's because it's not happening. 3rd Command Center on the high ground. Factory going down. A reactor. 2 more gases on the natural. BYUN is setting up for a longer game, but this is still a very scary moment that could straight up kill REYNOR if he's not careful. His Ling count is very low. His Banelings have just started morphing. I think BYUN can kill this 3rd base. And if he kills this 3rd, that's basically a victory condition. He's taking a little bit long, though. The Banelings are going to have time to finish. BYUN may have messed up by taking this long. The Queens don't really have any transfuse. A single transfuse goes down. There are Banelings available already. A bunch of Queens fall. Oh, this is really scary for REYNOR. He's got a few more Banelings coming in. A lot of drones going down. And, oh, nice hold position on the Marines so they target the drones. He's focusing the Banes, but 2 more Banes come in on the south. The tail end of that fight was a bit of an overextension for BYUN. He would have been better off, I think, saving those units after they killed the drones, trying to shuffle to the top left of the hatchery, keeping his Marines balled up, stimming one more time, and then trying to fade away and get those numbers home. As it was, he still mortally wounded REYNOR's income. REYNOR is down to just 26 army supply, 47 drones. He doesn't have a 4th base started. He's got Baneling speed on the way. With so few hatcheries and a 3rd command center finished, it feels like Terran is miles ahead. Extra barracks comes down as well to bring it up to 5 barracks play. And I think REYNOR is basically feeling like he needs to slow down the 3rd from being taken or get some sort of damage. I guess he could do a Bane speed timing off about 60 drones. That might be a good play for REYNOR. Try and surprise BYUN. Maybe if BYUN sends a dropout and you backstab with like a big massive Ling Bane, you could kill all the SCVs on the 3rd base, maybe kill these add-ons and put yourself in a decent position. Oh, that's one move that I wasn't expecting. Gonna go for a Baneling drop. Cute play for REYNOR. 5 barracks Marine production's usually pretty good at stopping that, but easier said than done. Lings come in, snag an SCV. No, actually. Okay, he's gonna try and escape those Marines. Does save 2 Zerglings for now. Baneling drop going to the main base. REYNOR's gonna unload the Baneling. BYUN quickly pulls SCVs, and REYNOR just says, okay, I'll fly out. He knows that BYUN's quick enough to pull Marines to defend this. Missile turret's going to get built on that side. There are a few Marines. Careful, REYNOR. I don't know if you want to drop on that. But he baits the stim. Gets away. Well done. Oh, Lings are going to run in. Nice move here for REYNOR. Catches him with his pants down. BYUN trying to do his best imitation of hero here. Lings are going to get a nice surround of those Marines on the ramp. Take down at least a few of those. The other Marines will come back and defend it eventually. Double drop comes in. Ling Bane's on top of it. Baneling drop goes back in. Did he just kill a bunch of SCVs? No, he didn't drop the Banelings just yet. Looks like one Baneling dropped in the mineral line, but they just damaged a few SCVs. A lot of SCVs damaged in the main base. Baneling drop still coming in. There's a counter Marine drop for BYUN right now. It's a multitasking war. 11 SCVs go down. Beautiful Baneling drop. BYUN accidentally attacks his own supply depot there. BYUN just killed his own supply depot with a misclick. Does save his Marines in the main base. They're cornered right now between Queens, Zerglings, and Banelings, but BYUN is happy to just sit in that corner and distract REYNOR with it. REYNOR is still only on 64 drones. He has a 4th hatchery up now, but no macro hatch. And his upgrades aren't all that great with his melee being far behind the +2 carapace. Widowmine Marine coming across the map. Does BYUN have a 2nd factory? Does he have a 4th command center? The answer is no. BYUN's still got Biomine. He's got the double drop now going into the back of the main as well. Is there enough? There's plenty of Banelings to defend, but it's all about the Widowmine efficiency. Look at this. There's already Widowmine set up here. That Widowmine burrow, unburrow tricks. Nice move for BYUN. The other Widowmine at the front got shot before it could detonate. The Banelings actually do a really good job of holding this. The Queens take a Widowmine shot or 2. The drop in the main is still dancing back and forth. He's going to try and unload that in the corner, but REYNOR's getting a 5th base. REYNOR's up to 74 workers. REYNOR is doing a fantastic job of getting himself out of the woods right now. I feel like BYUN had so much aggressive momentum, but at this point, I don't know if it's actually looking good for him. His 4th command center has just started. He needs to find more damage, but this hold up here was so clean for REYNOR. If REYNOR can defend one more push like that, I think he's in the clear because he's continuing to drone. I mean, it's borderline greedy for him at this point. He's building Hydralisks already. He's on 80 workers versus 62 SCV BYUN. That is just all pure momentum and chaos right now. Double drop gets pushed back to the corner of the map. Marine's going to stim it on this base. The Ling Bane is here along with those Queens. There's not many Widowmines. They're a little far back as well. BYUN pulls back around the corner. He tries to redrop in the main base. REYNOR's on top of it. The Queen and the Spore will be able to zone this out. That medevac getting dangerously low. And it's not long for this world. 8 hit points only for that medevac as it's trapped in the corner of the main. BYUN does go for 8 more barracks right now. Or 3 more barracks to bring the count up to 8, I should say. 2nd factory still hasn't been built, though. I think he needs that 2nd factory here. He's going to need to start adding siege tanks as the Hydralisk Baneling count starts to grow. Decent Widowmine hit there. That one over there on the ledge was actually really cute. Got 4 units, mostly Banelings. But the Widow Mines are cleaned up. Here comes a third prong of aggression, though. This is where BYUN gets very annoying to face. He's redropping the main while pushing the top left and the bottom middle at the same time. One of the medevacs goes down, but look at this. He's killed the queen. He's doing good damage to the hatchery. He saves the medevac in the main. REYNOR right now is looking for that third prong. He knows that it's not just one or two places at once. This is BYUN he's playing against, and he's looking to catch him not looking. Let's see if REYNOR can. He's pulling him back up on that side. This drop's going to go down to Spore Crawlers. Finally, REYNOR cleans up that drop, but at what cost? The Banelings here are going to take out that drop. Nice job with the Hydras. The Widow Mines are still there, though. He needs Overseers. And getting pulled out of position right now is REYNOR. BYUN comes in, almost gets the hatchery, gets 7 more workers. REYNOR's on 83 workers. He's building too many. He keeps rebuilding them as well. He doesn't seem to realize that BYUN is basically just going pedal to the metal aggression. REYNOR, he's in that natural state that REYNOR is in, where it's build some drones, build some units, build some drones, build some units. He needs to build nothing but units, and he needs to do a backstab. He needs to find a way to pull BYUN's attention away, because BYUN is rallying across the map. He's got no defense on the 3rd or the 4th, but he's being allowed to do this and choose when and where all the engagements happen because REYNOR is stuck in the defense. Oh my god! Oh my god, you traitorous sons of bitches! The Terran right now, back in the headquarters, they are hunting down whoever programmed those Widow Mines, and they are going to bloody flog him. Because that was devastating friendly fire from those Widow Mines. But BYUN, he says, okay, I lost my army in the south to all of my own Widow Mines. He goes back into the north, takes out a hatchery, keeps the drop alive. He's still got the position on the bottom. But you've got to be so careful as a Terran player. When you've got a lot of Widow Mines like that, if they dive on you with mass Zergling and you don't have enough Marines to shoot down the front Zerglings, you need to retarget the Widow Mines or do something like that. That Widow Mine got about a lot of friendly fire, but it killed a lot of Zerglings as well. That one wasn't too bad. Up here, though, oh my god, these medevacs are so low! Barely saves the 8 Marines in the 8 hit point medevac. BYUN's got a 4th up. He's still building mines. He still has not built a 2nd factory. He's decided just regular Widow Mines, no drilling claws, and mass Marine Marauder is the way it's going to go. 66 SCV, non-stop aggression, or die trying. Let's look at the units lost tab to gauge how well this is doing. 4,000 resources, advantage for BYUN. Is that enough to make up for the fact that he's never going past 66 workers? I think as long as he keeps denying REYNOR's bases, it is. But if he ever lets REYNOR get up to 6 or 7 bases, REYNOR's big worker advantage will really come to bear. There's no hive in this game. It's just lair tech Zerg. The Biomine's doing pretty good here. And remember, 3-3's on the way as well, which is going to be a huge advantage when that kicks in. The Biomine actually trading really well. You cannot lose your Hydralisks as REYNOR, but I think he's got the critical mass, takes out a few medevacs and a bunch of the Bio on the retreat. These medevacs also getting dangerously low. An infestation pit never got built in this game. There's 30 Hydralisks on the map. Now, Hydralisks are very good for stopping the Widow Mines from creeping forwards, but they lose in a head-to-head fight with similar numbers of Marine Marauder. So as much as it seems like REYNOR is stabilizing, he is overbuilding Hydralisks right now. This can work if he finds a fight where he has extra numbers, but right now he's not really ahead in army supply, and going just mass Hydralisk is silly. He's going above 40 Hydralisks. REYNOR seems to have lost the plot right now. He is going above 40 Hydralisks. That is a ridiculous, and all he's doing is building Hydras and Lings right now. This might work out because BYUN doesn't have any siege tanks. Maybe this works. I still feel like if BYUN just has enough Marine Marauder together, he can just headbutt and basically beat the Hydras due to the extra damage output and the tankiness of the Marauders. The Stim Marines do pretty well there, but whenever you're taking skirmishes like this, these are diminishing returns. BYUN is not taking the correct fights. He's still playing as if he's up against Ling Bane, even though he's up against Hydras. So once you're up against a mass ranged army, you should be much more focused on taking the concave in the battle, taking the correct angle. Instead, he keeps attacking up ramps into the concave, into the superior angled force of REYNOR. BYUN right now is looking a little stubborn, a little dogged, and it's not the right kind of stubborn, dogged play. Sometimes being a little stubborn is an attribute. Right now, it's hurting BYUN. He needs to get his forces together and find a good angle of engagement. There we go. He's going to chase a few of those units with that flank coming in from the south. Nice move. He brings his whole force in. There's next to no Banelings here, but oh, a big Baneling sneaks through REYNOR's line, hits the Marines, and REYNOR's bringing the rest of the forces in from the bottom. He's going to have the concave again. REYNOR gets the concave. He has a beautiful giant firing arc. Massive wave of Hydras coming in. And BYUN, if he had a 2nd factory, he could have a few tanks in here. They would be game-changing, but they're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to be able to do it. There's no siege tanks. It's just Biomine, and he's very wounded. He needs to be setting up those angles just right. You can't get lured into REYNOR's concave. You got to be careful, BYUN. Don't chase him down there, man. He's stimming again. That was a panic stim. His units are killing themselves. Just by forcing him to stim over and over again and then disengaging, REYNOR is actually whittling this army down. Yes, there's a lot of medevacs, but look at how wounded it is. If REYNOR fights you again and all your Marauders are at half life, you're screwed. Marauders take 20 damage per stim. REYNOR's now at Lurk Attack. He somehow got a hive up, guys. I don't know when that happened. He's got a hive. Seismic Spines. Still no extra upgrades. He's only got +1 melee. He's got 2-2 range and carapace, no adrenal, no 3-3. He's just spending all of his money on lurkers right now, which makes sense. Lurkers hard counter biomine. Still no transition or tanks on the way. BYUN is trying to win with just overwhelming numbers. He is trying to Zerg the Zerg player, but REYNOR now swapping into the more technical army. He's saying, I'll play the Protoss or Terran style if you're just going to play this spammy, swarmy bio. No worries, man. Big push in. Nice Widowmine hit there. The Hydra's taking damage. The Lurkers are going to be careful. REYNOR is actually getting overwhelmed. These are not quick burrow Lurkers. They don't have their upgrades yet. And, oh my lord, has BYUN just done it? He breaks through. He takes out all the Lurkers. REYNOR wasn't confident pushing in. He could have pushed in and killed this base and this production, but he pulls home from the other side of the map. REYNOR lacking killer instinct? I don't know if that's something I've ever seen before. I think he would have eventually been able to defend with his rally at home, but he brings everything home, and of course, the medevacs escape. Or do they? They redrop immediately here. REYNOR a little out of position. Those Widowmines are firing again in the middle. REYNOR needs to make an Overseer right now. Oh my god, he loses his 4th and his 5th base. He does have a new hatchery in the bottom, but this is huge damage. BYUN just trying to outswarm him, and I can't believe he actually found a way to make it work. REYNOR is not used to being on the receiving end of this. REYNOR likes to be the aggressor. He likes to be the one in his opponent's face. BYUN's taking that away from him. It's what I said at the start of the series. Don't let REYNOR get in a flow state. Don't let him be rewarded for doing things the way he likes to do them. The redrop in the north goes back in, it gets cleaned up, but this base in the bottom goes down, and that puts REYNOR back to square one. REYNOR's income is basically non-existent at this point, and that is a huge problem for him. I mean, his income is dipping hard. BYUN has a 5th up in the top left, and he's continuing to take gases as he needs them. There's still Widowmines all over the map. And Overseer finally did come out and he cleaned up those Widowmines, but not until he took a massive amount of damage. And it feels like, yeah, if REYNOR pushed in and cleared the barracks and got in on a few of those expansions, especially since this one's an orbital, he could have punished BYUN. I mean, BYUN is taking a lot of liberties. You might be looking at this and saying, how OP is Terran? Like, what the hell? Guys, this base was open to backstabs the entire game. This base open to backstabs the entire game. What BYUN's done is he said, if I play crazy aggressive enough, yes, I'll screw up a fight here or there, but it's okay, because I can get away with making orbitals on my bases by leaving no defenses at home, by committing no resources to those defenses. Lurker harass does get cleaned up on the top of the map. Bio gets surrounded on the rally. REYNOR looks desperate though, because he's surrounded. He's surrounded. Oh my god, BYUN comes in right now from behind. I mean, REYNOR just doesn't have the numbers. Remember, he hasn't been reinforcing this whole time. BYUN is maxed, he is not. The army supply doubling. BYUN splits his army in half. Half chases REYNOR home, the other half goes to the other side of the map. The Queen gets taken out there by a Widowmine stray on the right side. And these top bases are once again with a death warrant signed. That is a big problem. What a fascinating game this was. 66 workers or die trying, man. Just non-stop aggression. It's very rare you play against this in the EU scene. I guarantee you, Clemens Spirit, if they play this style BYUN's playing, they at some point try to force a big push and kill you. And if it doesn't work, they tap out. But BYUN will keep attacking in a harassment style, even though his economy is more indicative of an all-in. And he will slowly expand behind it. It's a very slow expansion rate. It's not many workers, but it's done in such a peculiar way, and you don't get a lot of practice against this as REYNOR. BYUN smashing through game one with non-stop aggression. All right, I thought he'd wriggled his way out of trouble after a terrible early game. But man, that was just too much aggression. And when he started trying to get counter-aggressive, that's actually where things fell apart for him. REYNOR, down here in the bottom right side, representing Basilisk Esports. His opponent in the top left, it is Shopify Rebellion's BYUN. And he's once again going for the low ground 2-racks Reaper. BYUN loves this build order. He is addicted, man. I feel like you take away this, and he'd be just absolutely ridiculously annoyed by it. For those who don't know, by the way, BYUN actually has the cutest puppy of all time. You can see him whenever you tune into one of our tournaments we run. We always, whenever he wins and we interview him, make him show his puppy. It's just basically like the interviewer's like, show us your puppy, please, show us your puppy. Now, we also found out recently, I don't know why, apparently he was seen with a Pomeranian that is not his normal puppy. And Dot went and immediately hopped on my Discord and asked him, and she's like, oi, hey, my wife wants to know, did you get a new puppy as well? Do you have 2 dogs now? But apparently what happened is Solar went on a trip with his wife. So BYUN, the good guy, took care of the Pomeranian, and his dogs had a little house party for a couple days while Solar was on a trip. I thought that was adorable. I just love the idea of these 2 pro gamers that are mortal enemies just taking care of each other's puppies whenever they go on trips. Anyways, BYUN does get a Zergling, a second Zergling. Not a bad start. And remember, there's no drone outside the base, so REYNOR can't take a 3rd right now. Interesting. 3rd and 4th queen going up immediately. REYNOR has an overlord on time, so he's responding pretty near perfectly. If you want to do the 2-based response, you basically need to go double inject straight away and just use all that lava to drone your expansion up very, very quickly. Go straight for a 3rd and 4th queen. You also need to build your overlords much earlier because those queens take up a lot of supply. Oh, here we go. Nice grenades. Gets another Zergling or 2. BYUN just being a nuisance, and he does go for 4 barracks behind this. Oh, 4 barracks again? 2 games in a row? Okay, BYUN might be going a little bit crazy now. Going a little bit crazy. Do you guys think surely he wouldn't do the SCV pull? Remember, was it game 2 of this entire tournament? REYNOR vs Maru was the first series. It's the second game in that series. I think it was in this exact same map, same spawn. Maru did this same build order, but he pulled the SCVs and tried to do the all-in. And REYNOR did defend that. I think REYNOR's pretty aware that that is something that's in the meta that BYUN's been doing for a while. Ling's going for a nice little surround there. The Marines are getting picked off. 2 Marines for a few Zerglings. Good trade for REYNOR. Can't be affording to lose this hatchery. He shouldn't. He's got plenty of Lings coming up here. Of course, those Reapers can jump back onto the high ground in his main. He actually doesn't have anything to stop that right now. He's only got about 9 Zerglings. Engaging 3 Reapers can be a bit dicey with only 9 Zerglings. Remember what happened in the last game where the Reapers killed like 15, 16 Zerglings before they finally went down. Cute grenades. He gets back to the choke point. Oh, good surround. Oh, but he actually slides out of it. BYUN kills the Zergling that was keeping him locked in. Queens on the high ground finally shut him down. The Reapers jump up to their death and the Queens say, "Get out of here!" And they immediately push their corpses back off the ledge. This is the REYNOR's Tarpeian Rock, you know. This is his this is where you shove the people off. It's did they have a name for that cliff in Midsommar? That was where that movie really turned, wasn't it? That was freaky. Anyways, factory is on the way right now. 3rd and 4th gas is coming down. 2nd and 3rd, I should say. He didn't take this other gas in his main just yet. Big Marine push out coming. This is a total of how many Marines is that, guys? That's 22 Marines, and he's still rallying as well. So 23 Marines in total coming across the map. REYNOR has way more Zerglings. He doesn't have many Queens. Only 5 Queens, but a lot of Zerglings and a Baneling Nest almost finished. If he just goes for a giant surround, kills all these Marines, this is super worth it. But if BYUN just goes home, he's actually the one who comes out ahead here simply by forcing so much army. But BYUN doesn't have the information we do. He has no idea there's a horde of Zergling Baneling out there. Queens are going to try to buy some time. You don't want to lose those Queens though, REYNOR. 2 Queens already go down. That hatchery's so wounded. The Reapers did so much damage earlier. The Lings will wrap around. Double stem has to go down. Overall, it looks like the Lings took an alright trade though. Just having the numbers advantage, paying off big, and you can see the units lost tab now dead even. Work account doesn't look great for REYNOR. I wouldn't say he's ahead after that. But interesting, this is a 4 barracks follow-up. We're going to see a big 2-base play for BYUN. REYNOR needs to realize what's happening. He's making burrow right now. He's going to burrow Banelings in this game. Oh, I love it. 5th barracks starts up as well. Factory's going to lift down onto the tech lab. He's already got stim and shields, so pulling the barracks off that tech lab. Something Terrans have gotten so good about utilizing this tech lab. If you're playing pure Marine tank, why not swap it over? People do it every game in TVT. Why not doing a Terran versus Zerg as well? Thinking about a 4th base on the right side is REYNOR. He's got Banelings starting to work their way across the map. Thinking about where he's going to do that burrow. He wants to make sure he doesn't get spotted. Because if BYUN sees 2 Banelings waddling around the map, then he'll know 100% you're going to burrow those. And once he knows, the jig is up, right? He's not going to run a big ball of Marines into your banelings once he knows that this is an option. Oh, REYNOR wants to see which direction he's coming from and then set it up reactively. This is a reactive baneling trap. I've never seen someone do this. I think he's going to, I mean, obviously Burrow's not done yet, but I think he's waiting to see if he pushes right or left before he puts the banelings down. Oh, that's very cute. Super cute here by REYNOR. But he doesn't get there in time, unfortunately. He ends up setting it up on the left. BYUN goes to the right. Unfortunate for REYNOR, maybe getting a bit too cute for his own good. Baneling speed and +1 melee did get delayed by that Burrow upgrade. He's got carapace though. That's a nice tank position for BYUN. Remember, BYUN needs to get aggression. Killing the 4th base is not that important. He needs to get in and do more damage. He's hoping REYNOR takes the bait, comes out, and takes a bad fight. REYNOR's playing very disciplined though. He's just going to cancel this base, give it up. Remember, REYNOR had a very painful loss to Oliveira earlier this year in the World Championship, and he studied that. And he realized that continuing to take bad fights that he didn't need to was the #1 cause for losing. He's fixed that problem since then, and we've seen him much quicker to give up hatcheries and only take the fight when he's really ready to take it. It's a classic lesson, which most players at his level know on a deep level, but somehow he'd forgotten it. In the midst of his success, he started taking fights that he wasn't ready for, threw away a few tournament opportunities. He's back to being much more patient now. Oh, wow, the Baneling, one Baneling actually snuck through and got a good hit. A Lottling Bane getting ready for the flank right there. BYUN's getting some very good trades, but this could go south very quickly. He's got to drop in the main. That could do some real damage. You know, Rain is very focused on this base. BYUN picks up a few Marines. He's going to lose the siege tank, breaks the rocks there, but that means there's Marines in the main base. Nothing there to defend. REYNOR quickly pulling back with the drones. Ling's trying to trickle up into this main, but it's a long route from that low ground 4th base all the way back up here. Bear's taking a lot of damage. Queen's going to come in. Does throw down some injects. Queen could hit the medevac, and indeed it does. Good focus fire by REYNOR. But BYUN just moved. He moved his army to the right. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, he ends up scanning and blowing up a bunch of his Marines anyway, as his Marines actually shoot the Banelings while standing on top of it. It's an okay burrow bomb, but not really what REYNOR was looking for. REYNOR's up 13 workers here, but he's going to have to give this base up, and that... Giving up your 3rd base, that's a much harder call to make, but he's just transferring to the other base and continuing to expand away. REYNOR playing very smart StarCraft right now. This is not an ideal position. It's not where he wants to be, but embracing and accepting the fact that you're in, a kind of crappy position is okay. If you're like, okay, position's kind of crappy, I'll have to keep expanding elsewhere, I'll keep building these other hatcheries, but I'm not going to throw the game away right now. So many players get impatient and just think, oh, I think I can break this. And if I break this, the game's going to be much easier, so I'll just take the risk. They take a bad fight, they throw their army away. REYNOR's not doing it. This is a very different side of REYNOR to what we're used to seeing. Incredibly patient, waiting for BYUN to make mistakes. And remember, BYUN's on 2 base. He's just started the 3rd command center. He wants you to come and fight him on his terms and take bad engagements. REYNOR's like, dude, I'm making 2-2. I've got a massive upgrade advantage here. When that 2-2 kicks in, I just need to buy time. BYUN's going to drop on top of Mass Zergling, the Mad Dog. Oh no, he picked up in the wrong order. There's no space for the medevacs. He put the Marines in the wrong medevacs. So there was a bit of space in 3 different medevacs, but not a single one had enough space for the siege tank. That is very unfortunate for BYUN. That's a little mistake. You don't see that happening. Normally you just click the units on the medevacs in any order. That one actually backfired. He's going to keep defending his natural while reinforcing. Double drop's going to go down the left while he has a big pack of Marine tank here. REYNOR is going to commit very hard to defending. Does he have enough Banelings in the main, though? I don't know. Here we go. He comes in on that side. Looks like the Marines forced to pick up in the main. The tank gets taken out. There is another tank on the high ground, though. Oh, gosh. BYUN is being such an irritating player right now. REYNOR's going to move forward, take out these medevacs. If they stay any longer, they're forced backwards. Ling Bane here as well. He's got to get rid of this tank, and indeed, he should be able to. But taking a few nasty tank shots. 23 kills on that siege tank before it goes down. 1 medevac does fall there to the Queens. Good defense by REYNOR, who's got 2-2 upgrades now kicking in, +2 melee. The second of those upgrades does finish. We've got burrowed Banelings out on the map there and there. 2 traps on the map. And actually, he's got one here as well, interestingly, but I think he should try to move these further forward on the map. See if he can get one up here. Maybe a burrowed Baneling trap there as well. BYUN's moving out to take his 3rd base. He's got, of course, a main that is almost completely mined out. A natural expansion that's starting to run out of mineral patches as well. REYNOR definitely in the lead on 4 bases. If he can take a 5th as well, he'll be sitting pretty. Burrowed Zergling does see the undrop, or unload, I should say, the redrop on the low ground. BYUN's going to start 2-2. Doesn't feel good for Terran. Definitely feels like Reynor's got the advantage, just patiently waiting. And I think BYUN's whole strategy was based on Reynor being impatient. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. He's burrowed banelings in the main base. Oh, this is so cute. Unfortunately for him, BYUN does not run into it. Now, I always remember Ice. Some of you Dota fans may know a famous Dota 2 pro player. He used to be a StarCraft 2 pro in the very early days, because he is just like a gifted gamer. He used to build a spore crawler here, a spore crawler here. He'd leave a little gap, and he'd put the 2 banelings there, and Terran would always unload in the little gap that he'd leave, and then he'd detonate the banelings. It was the funniest little maneuver that I'd ever seen. Oh, but BYUN scans that time and takes it out. Here we go. Does pick up and pulls back there. Very nicely done. It was just such a peculiar tactic that I never saw from anyone else. That it was so just, you know, hilarious. Showed his attention to detail. But BYUN right now fighting for his life. Down 20 workers. You know what, guys? Being down in workers can be good in StarCraft because it allows you to get more army at max out. And that's what BYUN is playing for. BYUN is not building workers. He's not building a 4th command center. BYUN is simply saying, well, this is not great. You have way more income. You have more tech, but it's Reynor. Reynor goes on autopilot. He always goes on autopilot. He's building up to above 80 workers. He's making a hive. Now, don't get me wrong. That's going to put him further ahead, but it's also going to put him in more danger because that army supply difference is going to get bigger and bigger. And, you know, if BYUN can get one good fight or one giant push going, basically Reynor needs to backstab. He needs to flank. He needs to force small skirmishes where he can trade in small fights over and over again, rather than committing to one big engagement. If Reynor takes a lazy fight here, starts feeling like he's a bit too far ahead, then that's going to be an issue. 2 Liberators are going to go down the bottom left and siege up on this base. You can see there, very nice moves for BYUN to keep Reynor busy. BYUN's not quite maxed out. He's actually going to need a few more supply depots if he wants to finish maxing out. He's only up a little bit in army supply. He does have a few Widow Mines and a big pack of Bio pushing up the guts towards Reynor's base. Reynor's got a massive flank of Banelings, though. Oh my god, he's got like 36 Banelings just in this backstab army, and he's going to use them to burrow Banelings as well. So if you try to chase these down, you will get in trouble. BYUN, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. If he goes down that ramp, he's going to run into 2 burrowed Banelings. The Liberators are distracting Reynor right now. Here we go. Reynor's trying to bait him in potentially. But, oh, not a good fight for Reynor. He blows up like 15 Banelings to take out the siege tank. He does clean up the drop on the right at the same time, though. Looks like one of those Banelings did get blown up by the siege tank fire. The other Baneling detonates! The Marines all stim, but they're all down on 6 alive. Oh, but Reynor can't quite close the gap with them. The Marines do get away from that trap. Very, very slick play by BYUN to escape the trap. The Liberator's still dancing. Liberator versus Spore Crawler dance in the bottom left. Very annoying for Reynor. But as long as he's not losing the base, he's sitting pretty. He's got 20 worker advantage. And remember, small trades favor Reynor. He should keep flanking around. He should keep just buying time, doing what he can. He's going to just smash through. He feels he has the numbers. I don't know if that's the right call. I like that he's spreading backwards, trying to set off the Widow Mines before he fully commits. Definitely feel like backstabs are the way to go here. I don't think Reynor needs to defend this base, but because his bottom left base is getting its mining tonight, he feels he has to. Finally, the second Liberator does go down. Took a while for that Spore Crawler to deal with him. Reynor's going to go for it. There's no Widow Mines on the front line anymore. New ones reinforcing in, but they are not burrowed. They do not have drilling claws. The Marine spready is beautiful for BYUN, but does he have the numbers to back it up? There are more Banelings than he's ever seen before. The Hydra's coming in to deal with the Liberators and the tanks. The Medevacs are falling, and Reynor just has too much stuff. That was about as good of an engagement as I think BYUN could have taken, but he was just too far behind in this game, and Reynor ties up the series. All right, guys, down here in the bottom right side of the map, we've got Shopify Rebellion's BYUN, and he's one set. Wow, look at that, guys. Creative build orders. Creative build orders. My name is BYUN. If he goes 4x again, I'm actually going to slap him. I'm going to be like, BYUN, bad. Bad. You have to... Strategy game, BYUN, please. Interestingly, Reynor's going for a gas pool opening into hatchery. Ooh, we might see him do like a Ravager push where BYUN needs to build the bunker out front and repair it just to protect his barracks. Let's see what Reynor goes for. He could just go Ling speed early to try and surround the Reapers and get map control. These sort of things are obviously more effective if it's the other spawn, because then the add-on wouldn't be protected on the inside. BYUN was over here. Barracks there, reactor on the outside of the wall, tech lab on the outside of the wall. Ling speed starts, but he's leaving on gas. Is Reynor Bane busting? Reynor? What are you doing, mate? Are you going to try and Bane bust BYUN? Oh, Reynor's got a dirty build up his sleeve, guys. And BYUN, of course, has not scouted until this Reaper. So we're going to have to kind of look at this, I think, from BYUN's point of view and see, can he kind of catch on to what's happening? Just going up to 20 drones is Reynor. Keep an eye on that production tab, see when he starts building Zerglings. Reaper's going to jump up into the main base. Lings are going for a bit of a wraparound. He's going to see the gas is mining. Huge tell right there. Now this seems terrible for Reynor. There's no way you kill him with a Bane Bust if he knows it's coming. Yet Reynor's still building 6 Zerglings. I guess he just wants to surround the Reapers and push them back. 10 Zerglings are... Why is he going 2-base muta? He's building a Baneling nest? Okay, guys, I think this is a terrible play by Reynor. This is strategically void. I was making fun of BYUN for doing the same build over and over again, and he is doing the exact same thing for X, but that's very safe here. There is no way this could ever work. Not after he scouts your gas mining. As a Terran player, you see they're still mining gas after starting Ling speed. Maybe BYUN didn't click on the gas geyser, but he's got a backup wall off on the high ground, so I got to assume he knows. Now, he's not building a bunker, which is obviously, like, risky, but I don't think it matters, because if you have, like, how many Marines? He's going to have, like, 8 to 10 Marines and 3 Reapers and a wall off that you have to expend all your Banelings to blow up. A bunker's going down as well. I think Reynor is being a little bit silly with this build, guys. I've got to be honest. I feel like this is not particularly well chosen, but maybe, just maybe, he can make it work. It's all about if he can somehow surprise BYUN and get a surround on the Marines. BYUN's going to build a tech lab behind this. Okay, so he's got 2 tech labs and a reactor up. Stim's on the way. It will not be ready in time. These 3 Reapers. Here we go. Baneling's coming in. But even here, attacking around the corner, he's going to have to with this. Is not super clean. Nice focus fire. One of the Banelings goes down. BYUN did not focus the other Banelings. BYUN messed up his focus fire. Oh no, BYUN, he's going to lose the bunker. BYUN's going to lose the bunker, I think. Oh my god, he is. The bunker gets surrounded. It goes down. Oh my lord. Okay, this might actually pay off. This might actually pay off. BYUN needed to focus those 3 Banelings down with his bunker, but he messed up shift-clicking them. He didn't even shift-click. He targeted one, and then that was it. He has to pull back to the high ground, losing a depot, losing 10 SCVs, a reactor, and a tech lab. He's got to restart Stim on the high ground and lift his command center. Now, the work count's still dead even, so I don't know if that necessarily is the end of the world. And he doesn't need to build more bunkers, because he can just put a command center there. So if you make more Banelings, that is not going to work. Reynor is going to have to drone up and play a macro game. He's going to go towards the 3rd base. It seems to have messed up BYUN's build enough. I wonder if this ends up Reynor favored. You got to... Canceling Stim was important. There's no factory or anything like that. An engineering bay and a factory now go down. 2 SCVs being built at a time. It's very hard for BYUN to know when he can get back down to the natural. That's what's scary for him. Reynor's got all the map control, all the information in this game. And this all came down to the fact that, remember, he also should have probably pulled more SCVs from the main so he could fully surround the bunker. And even if you lose some of those SCVs to the Banelings, you'll still have at least 6 or 7 repairing. But surprising that it kind of went the way it did. I also thought he'd put the bunker further forward so that he could actually shoot down the units as they're busting the wall. Interesting that BYUN didn't go for that. I think that's a mistake, because then you can also immediately basically plug the gap in the wall the moment there's any break in the units for Reynor. Starport's on the way here. Extra reactor building. Still stuck on 1 base for now. Does not feel good for BYUN. Carapace is on the way for Reynor. And man, Reynor has an ability to make builds work that are scouted that should not work. And I mean, BYUN's got to be kicking himself, because it's not like, I'm sure there's someone who's like, wow, your analysis is so wrong, Pig. There's always that one person who just doesn't understand what's happening in a game of StarCraft, but I guarantee you, if we spoke to BYUN right now, he'd be fuming. He'd be like, yeah, I scouted him still mining gas. I knew that that's kind of the play there. I thought I was safe, but apparently he would kind of probably be in a bit of disbelief, like shaking his head going, I thought that would be an easy hold. I had a bunker. I had a wall off and a bunker and a lot of Marines pumping out, but he was building the extra tech lab on the high ground. He didn't quite have as many Marines as he should have. And it does cost him. Marines now pushing out with Stim finished. Shield's about halfway done. +1 is almost there. First 2 medevacs will be starting in a moment, but he's supply blocked right now. Extra depots are starting to build that natural wall. They're not there just yet. And he's slowly clearing up Reynor's map vision. Unfortunately for him, Reynor is very, very fast. And he's microing his units exceptionally well. Lair is on the way. Baneling Nest is finished as well. So Reynor's going to take a 4th base, try to get Baneling speed. And for BYUN, definitely feels like he's given so much room to Reynor. I think Reynor's easily going to hold this Marine push. And what do you do from there, man? There's no 3rd command center. It's just going to be prolonged 2-base all-in for BYUN. He's basically just got to find a way to find the best engagements of all time. And Reynor needs to throw a few battles away. Reynor sees extra barracks building. Add-ons at least. He sees no command center. There's not really any space for a command center in here. As long as he sees no 3rd here, he knows you're stuck on 2-base right now. I just need to survive. Oh, he can get through, he can get through. The Lings push the Marines out of the way. They get right on top. SCV's pulled off the line, but this is going to be desperate. BYUN needs to win the game with his counter push on the other side of the map, but that is a lot of Banelings to shove into right now. He shoves into the Queens. Reynor goes forward with the Banelings. 1 Queen falls. Banelings do split up, and they take out almost all of the Marines. 1 medevac saves 8 of them. Back at home, 18 SCVs have gone home. The Lings are cleaned up. Reynor, if he can get out just enough to hold on against the next wave, this should be game over. BYUN's trying to move out right now, but his siege tank cannot fit through there, apparently. See that siege tank derping out, guys? That cannot fit through that. That's a diagonal single-space choke point. That is not a 2-space choke point on the diagonal. BYUN's on 64 supply. He's got a bunch of Marines, a stuck siege tank, and a dream. And, I mean, you guys know I love it. I'm stuck, Stepzerg. Help me. Reynor is absolutely not going to help you, BYUN. He's your mortal enemy in this quarterfinals. The winner of this goes to the semis of a big championship tournament here in Jönköping. Oh, and BYUN just gets wiped out. I got to go back and look at that bunker rush one more time, guys, because I'm pretty sure he mismicroed by not focusing the Banelings. Let's look at how that fight would go if he did it correctly. Like I said, if the bunker's there, he's actually shooting down the units as they're coming in, so I would have loved that bunker to be further forward. But check this out. He focuses one of these Banelings. Actually, he doesn't even focus it. It just happens to be in front. And BYUN's just pulling these units away. All he needed to do here was select the bunker and go attack that Baneling, shift attack that Baneling, and get all the SCVs around the bunker. Problem, as I said, he's only got 8 SCVs on the low ground. So what he could have done is he could have pulled 5, 6 more SCVs to the natural, set the rally point here back to the base. Doesn't lose you much mining time at all. It kind of spreads the workers between the bases, and it means even if you lose a few of these to the Banelings, you've got other SCVs that can immediately come in and repair, if not just fight as well. So you can see here his SCVs end up kind of fighting. The Banelings get really good hits on Marines and SCVs, and he gets a pretty good wraparound on the bunker as well. And then these 2 other Banelings come in. So definitely a big mistake there for BYUN to let that happen. I think for him, he probably couldn't quite believe that Reynor was actually just going to commit to a Baneling bust after he'd scouted the gas. There's a part of you that's in disbelief that the Zerg would have the confidence to continue committing to it. Sometimes doing something that is suboptimal is the most unexpected. I think that's what happened here for Reynor. We can call it genius. We can call it a bit of stupid luck. I'd probably err on the side of stupid luck, but if win is a win, Reynor's up 2-1. All right, guys, let's go into game 4. In the top right, we've got BYUN here. Gotta be a bit annoyed at that last game, man. But he's got double. Guys, he's doing a creative build order again. Reynor is doing the same build order. He's going gas pool again. Okay, this is super funny right now. Okay, so BYUN loses to a build that he probably shouldn't have lost to. He should have been able to defend that. You can also imagine, I kind of analyzed that, how he could defend. He also could have just brought an SCV to the front. Guys, if he had an SCV standing next to his wall, when you see the Banelings, you drop an engineering bay. And that means when the Banelings blow up the depot, if you start the engineering bay when the Banelings are back here, they're going to have to use at least 2 Banelings, if not 3, to blow up the engineering bay to get in as well. So that was another option there, is he could have done a reactive engineering bay block, kind of like when the Protoss player quickly drops a gateway to wall off. And that actually would have been a really cool way to shut it down as well. But anyways, if Reynor commits to the same build... Reynor, what are you doing? I guess he wants it to get scouted again to put the fear in BYUN's head. Okay, so there is a justification for this. I won't be too harsh on Reynor. If you know he's already upset about losing that last game, you show him the exact same opening and you know he's going to be double paranoid. Hatchery is there on the natural. Lots of Reapers are pumping out. We've got double gas here for BYUN. It's going to be going factory after this. Wait, that's not normal, is it? Oh, he's got a third barracks, that's why. I was like, why does he have a double gas? Okay, guys, he's going 3 racks Reaper. So it's 3 racks Reaper versus this. He scouts that the gas was extra mining there, but REYNOR pulls off after getting scouted and is like, haha, you're scared now. The thing is, BYUN is blind countering it by saying, well, if I do 3 racks Reaper, like, you can never kill me anyway. I'm the aggressor. I'm the one who's being super duper aggressive. So this is actually pretty funky from him. REYNOR's being not too greedy. He's going like 10 Zerglings, 2 Queens. He's going to try to move out for a 3rd base. Now, BYUN saw the gas mining, though. So he's actually afraid of the Bane bust. So he's going home. Because Ling Speed's done, and he thinks there might be mass Zergling. Wait. So BYUN's massing Reapers right now because he's so afraid of the Baneling bust. And REYNOR's just like, lol, I'll just drone. No way. If REYNOR gets away with just non-stop droning, yeah, BYUN needs to go pressure. But it's so scary, because if he moves out, he doesn't know if there's 30 Zerglings out there. This is the problem with non-Hellion builds, is you never know when your opponent has like 50 Zerglings on the map waiting for you to move out to do some pressure, and then you lose all your stuff. He's going to build an add-on there. Oh, imagine if those Lings ran in at that moment. So he's going to build all the add-ons. He's got 1 last Reaper that pops out. 9 Reapers in total, guys. So 9 Reapers are going to come forwards, but REYNOR's already up at almost 40 workers. And REYNOR, I don't know why his Lings are still standing there. Dude, you're massively outnumbered right now. Those Reapers could do big damage. REYNOR's building Zerglings, but he's gotten away with building so many more drones before he builds the Zerglings. And maybe you guys aren't super high-level StarCraft players. Maybe you just enjoy watching. Maybe you don't fully understand how important that is. Building those extra 15 workers before building these Zerglings, it's like having an extra base mining for a full minute. And in the early game, and you gotta remember, you use money to build up more money. As long as he can defend this hatchery, this is gonna be amazing for REYNOR. That's looking like a big if. Okay, it looks like he was maybe a little too greedy. He has 1 transfuse available. Did he use it on the Queen? He uses it on the Queen, which means he can't use it on the hatchery. But so afraid of getting jumped on right now is BYUN. He doesn't want to throw these Reapers away. That being said, that hatchery is so weak for follow-up drops. Definitely a chance of that going down in the future. Factory is finishing behind this. 3rd gas is up as well. Starport and reactor will be going down in the near future. REYNOR gets away with murder there. Yes, he loses a few Zerglings, but well worth it to have that much income. And I definitely think, look at the supply count. Like, REYNOR is massively ahead in this game. The numbers are going to get worse and worse for BYUN. The only problem for REYNOR is he's blind. He doesn't know what's behind this. He should know this is 3 barracks and that it has to be a 3 barracks play. So I take that back. He knows that this has got to be something aggressive. Even if you go 3rd command center, you've already got 3 barracks, so you're still going to have a pretty good attack timing to at least put on some heavy pressure. REYNOR's going to go 1-1 upgrades. Going 1-1 in this scenario does not make sense. So I'm gonna point out why, guys. If you know they've gone 3 barracks, you know they have to do an aggressive 2-base push, you should always go lair Baneling Nest, because Baneling speed is the most important upgrade to defend 2-base aggression. Upgrades 1-1 are very good, but it would be better if he went single Carapace plus quick Bane speed, something like that would be much stronger. So REYNOR is playing a little bit greedy in that regard. I don't think it matters if he just starts massing Zerglings now. He's up 13 workers. He's building a Spore at each base, which, I mean, that'll help zone drops out. It won't really help too much. It's just like, hey, maybe there's a surprise delayed Banshee or something. Yeah, I'll get the Spores. It'll stop drops later on. He's building 4 more workers. So REYNOR's going to 60 workers. He's trying to take a 4th base on the left of the map. I actually prefer this 4th base down here, because this base, the weakness is if they drive a wedge between it, they get your 3rd and your 4th. And this 3rd is already very vulnerable as well. BYUN's going to push forward with some Marines. REYNOR's doing nothing but massing Ling Bane. It's a healthy worker advantage, guys. 11 workers, 1-1 upgrades on the way, but he does need to start Baneling speed. His lair's done. He just morphed 8 Banelings. He's delaying his Baneling speed a lot because he's afraid of this push. If REYNOR doesn't realize he forgot Baneling speed or he delayed it, then that's going to be a big issue. Tries to get in. BYUN's ready for it. Lings are going to come back. REYNOR's got to be careful. He's got some Banelings, but not that many Zerglings to support them. Oh, BYUN careful. 1 good Baneling hit goes off. The Reapers do a lovely split. Oh, and REYNOR shuts down the first wave. Luckily for BYUN, he saves most of the Marines there, but that gives REYNOR a little bit more freedom. His 1-1's there. His Baneling speed only just started, though. The next wave could be kind of scary. If you don't have Baneling speed, it's hard to jump on top. Reynor's also a little slow to respread creep here. A creep tumor there, you can jump to the low ground, is amazing. He doesn't have any creep in the middle or the right side either. So Reynor's being a little lazy on his creep spread, but he's still got the numbers advantage. His 1-1's done. If he can buy 50 seconds for baneling speed, I think he's pretty much got this game in the bag. I mean, it's BYUN. BYUN can make anything happen. And BYUN is very good at finding good tank spots. He's going to go to the left. Shouldn't call it over till it's over. It's just a very hard position where BYUN needs to get an amazing fight right now. Bane speed's nowhere near done. Reynor pulling the trigger here way too early. He goes in, he loses all of his banelings. His whole flank of Zerglings goes down. And oh my, did I just cast a curse this? What the hell? BYUN, I was like, BYUN really needs a very good fight. Killing the base would not have been good enough there, but he kills the base and kills the army and gets a further forward position towards the third that's already heavily damaged. Reynor needed to try to scare him back. He should have forced him to siege further away. Reynor stumbles into a terrible engagement. Oh no! Remember I was saying it's all about patience and not taking bad fights back on dragon scales. Well, this time around, Reynor, I don't think he saw the army coming. I think he was just surprised that that army appeared where and when it did. And he made a rash decision. He's got a lot of overlords here. He needs to give up these overlords. These overlords need to run away right now. I mean, they'll tank a little bit of damage to buy him time, but if he has to give up this base, he needs to make sure he doesn't lose those 10 overlords. That's 1,000 minerals and 80 supply worth of overlords. Reynor's just letting them sit there. This is a big mistake. Queens are there. The Marines and the tanks starting to shell forward. Look at the tank spread, guys. He's got 1 on the top, 2 on the far left bottom as well. The Ling Bane going forward. Reynor needs to flank this and surround it. If he wants to engage it, he keeps expecting a drop on the right side, so his army was there. He's going to give up the base. He loses a couple of those overlords. Not too many of them. The Ling Bane comes in. It's a half-cocked flank, though. This is a rash decision again. Reynor, he saves the hatchery. He realizes, oh, I can save it, but then he ends up stumbling his army in. The unit's lost tab is better than 2-1 in favor of BYUN. BYUN has a third command center behind this. He was massively committed to this push, but he did actually expand. He's got a second engineering bay and an armory. He's adding the tools he needs for a longer game. BYUN had an atrocious early game, man. Reynor got away with so much greed, but BYUN's decisive aggression to follow it up keeps finding the weaknesses, and it feels like Reynor is reeling. He's in shock at just the speed and ferocity of BYUN's aggression. Reynor now far behind. He's had to take a third base down here and transfer his workers. He's trying to take a fourth up the middle, but he's lost all of his map control. He never respread creep in the middle. He's only just respread creep on the right side. You can tell that Reynor is tunnel visioning on a lot of individual situations. He's not keeping that all-encompassing vision and overview that we're used to seeing him have when he's dominating in this matchup, where even when he's fighting on the left, he's baneling run buying, and there's Zerglings in your base, and there's a baneling drop, and there's creep spreading everywhere. He's finally going to go for a clear up on this push. Let's see how efficiently he can do this. It's no question of whether Reynor can break it, it's how efficient can he be, and that was pretty darn efficient. That was a really, really good break on that contain. But BYUN, of course, as always, saves all the Marines, gets them out of there, redrops to come back in another day. Behind this, 2-2 has not started. BYUN better get a move on with that. That's a very big oversight. That armory and second engineering bay finished a while ago. What is BYUN looking at right now? BYUN's forgotten his 2-2. 2-2 is going to finish for Reynor. Oh, he gets a kill on the hatchery. BYUN says 2-2 will start up as I snipe a hatchery mate. Gets that, gets a few Zerglings and pulls back to the left. Reynor looks like he wants to do a big push right now, but with tanks in very defensive positions, I don't really think there's any option. Widow mines are now coming out of the factory. BYUN is staying flexible. Reynor is right now banking on these burrowed banelings getting him back into the game. And I think it's a long shot. His creep is not respreading on the left. Remember what I said about him losing overall awareness? Oh, the burrowed banelings did get a bunch of Marines. Looks like about 7 or 8 Marines went down to that one. Ling Bane getting ready for the flank. But the 4th command center is here. BYUN at this point is happy to play a normal game. He's just going to macro on up, and it's Reynor's job to find a way to get up to 70, 80 workers, 85 workers, get to a hive, get to Hydralisk tech. It's just not there yet. He's got creep spreading in the middle. He's barely spread this creep on the right side. So I'm talking about Reynor's tense right now. He's worried, he's panicky. You can feel the anxiety in the lack of creep spread and the lack of him kind of doing all those details that he normally does. He's staring at his burrowed banelings a lot, hoping to land those big hits. He's going to go for a big backstab, but he's got to watch out for the Widow Mine here. BYUN's pushing the front, but he's got plenty of units at home. And the Ling Bane is going to have to come back as a sort of wraparound, a flank on this army. I love the Widow Mines along the cliff, really annoying. It's hard to see the Widow Mines when they're next to the cliff, and your units tend to clump up more in those areas, which makes it harder to take them out without taking a big Widow Mine hit to the face. Concussive Shells is on the way. Remember, the more you drag this out, the worse it is for BYUN, simply because of BYUN's wrists, his nerves. He's playing fast, clean StarCraft. There's no signs of him really feeling that pain, but I'm sure he is. It's inevitable. He's on camera. He's feeling that pain. He's got that inflammation going. And Bane does roll on into that bio. We've got that 4th base here. It looks like it's going to get taken out. BYUN just abusing the ledge, going high ground, low ground. Keeps picking up and just fighting wherever REYNOR does not want to engage, even these 3 stray Marines being a pain in the butt. Upgrades are equal right now as 2-2 finishes for Terran. REYNOR's upgrade advantage disappears. He's only on 69 workers. The burrowed banelings keep getting spotted by scans. Burrowed baneling me once? Fine, says BYUN, but you're not going to do it again. You're not going to be landing those. I'm aware of the fact that they exist, and now these burrowed banelings left around the map, I would say, are very unlikely to achieve anything else in this game. Did I just jinx it? Did I just jinx BYUN? I think I might have. Marines clearing creep on the right. Oh my lord. Oh my lordy lord. Oh, okay, not bad. Gets all the Widow Mines in the deep red, kills a few Marines as well. BYUN kind of happened to scan just as he was on top of it. 1 Widow Mine goes down. Oh, good Widow Mine shot there for BYUN on the second one. It does go down to the baneling that it blew up. They got a good shot before that. 73 workers for REYNOR. He can't afford to reproduce. He's got to take good fights here and now. Lots of banelings coming in the flank, but there's a lot of Widow Mines there. And the Widow Mines and tanks take a lot of those banelings out before they go down. BYUN is going to have to pick up these units. He's still trying to stutter step and get some more value. He shoves the guts at the same time. Oh, that's a very wild move. BYUN, you risky boy, you. Tries to shove up the guts, may backfire. Widow Mine gets friendly fire. REYNOR shuts the push down in the middle. He's not going to go down easy. REYNOR at 72 drones. Can he start a hive? I don't think he has the money for it. Honestly, I think hive tech's worthless. For him, he needs extra hatcheries. He's only on 4 bases. He needs to secure 2 more bases. If he can secure 2 more bases, get another 10 workers, REYNOR can start thinking about a hive. For now, though, he wants counter aggression, but watch out, he's going to get surrounded. Burrows the banelings, they get caught by the scan, so immediately unburrows. Tries to turn on that advance and fight it, but this is Stim Bio with concussive shells. Ooh, nice spotting of that burrow there. BYUN hold positions, does not chase into that, waits for the scan to be ready. You can see he's actually completely out of scans right now. So this is actually stalling out BYUN's aggression. He doesn't have any scans, so he's afraid to move here or here, because he knows there could be more burrowed banelings there. This is actually really cool, because if you're only on 3 orbitals as a Terran, you really don't have that many scans. Oh my god, that's a massive drop on the left side, guys. Massive drop on the left side. Looking to deny the 6th base attempt for REYNOR. We've got a 5th base just here on the left of our screen on the high ground. The bio on the right dancing. Another dead hatchery on the left. This is really expensive losses for REYNOR. He's got the Wingbane Hydra there. He will defend on the left side, but on the right, it looks like he might be getting overrun. So many Marauders. 3-3, not quite done for the Terran. They're on even upgrades for now, but remember, the Hydras actually don't have any attack upgrades. So those Hydralisks that are really meant to present a wall against the Marauders and Mines are not doing as well as they could. Queens in the main are defending. They shoot down 2 of the medevacs, and finally it looks like that left side is just pushed back to being a double drop. BYUN has a new command center coming up. 3-3, bio mine, non-stop aggression. Where's the second factory? Where's the Ghost Academy, you might ask? The answer is, I don't want none of that. My name's BYUN. I want to kill you now. Just like he did on Ancient Cistern. It is a non-stop parade of units and mobility. He wants to Zerg the Zerg player. He wants to be everywhere at once, just pushing in from all sides. REYNOR snipes 2, medevacs pulls back, but he loses a hatchery. That is an expensive loss. He's got lurkers out, but they are Lairtech lurkers. Lovely burrowed baneling on the left side. Dude, REYNOR is really turning this into a game. He's got a whole pack of lurkers out. They are Lairtech lurkers, which means only 8 range, but I feel like just 1 or 2 good volleys, and suddenly they can be such a big turning force. BYUN's only on 65 workers, but he's going to move down to this gold base, try to secure that one. REYNOR is blocking some of the bases with burrowed Zerglings. Seismic Spines is on the way. The Hive is actually up, so he's finally going to start his first lurker upgrade. Wingbane Hydra is still trying to dance there against the bio on the left. But this right side, he just can't get a 5th base up. That's the problem for REYNOR, is his income is stuck at 2k minerals a minute, and it ain't getting any better. 3 burrowed banelings are there. Very nice opportunity for REYNOR, and he lands another Huge boomtown all over BYUN's face. Oh my god, he pushes it back on the left at the same time. REYNOR does very well, but he loses another hatchery. He's lost 7 hatcheries in this game. He took some really good fights. He also took a Widow Mine, 14 kill Widow Mine hit. Luckily, he is morphing an Overseer on the left of the map. That's going to be very important. He's got some lurkers over here, but they're largely unsupported. The supply is very close, but BYUN's the one with the income advantage. Widow Mine takes out 2 Hydras, massively positive trade, and he does push back REYNOR on the left of the map. There's no Banelings left. The supply might look similar, but without Banelings, the Zerg army is much worse. Lurkers sieging the planetary. BYUN's just going to counterattack. He says, screw that. SCVs can repair the planetary. I'll hit you up the guts and on the left side at the same time. And he's finding value. With no Banelings left to punish, not that many Hydras, BYUN's able to stutter step his way through here. It looks like a few Lurkers behind do intercept that drop. But once again, guys, REYNOR is kept on 4 bases, and that is a problem. He's dropping down to 1,700 minerals a minute. Meanwhile, BYUN is at 2,600 minerals a minute. BYUN, careful. Oh my god, I don't think he meant to give up that gold base, guys. He pulled all the SCVs away from repairing it. I think that was a mistake. Yeah, it was. He now realizes, okay, screw this. I'm just going to give it up. He does give up the base. 134 army supply versus 104. Range is there for the Lurkers, but remember, they don't have adaptive talons, and another 8 Lurkers are on the way. REYNOR is looking for an all-in right now. He just says, screw it. I've got no creep. I've got no bases. I don't have any workers. I'm just going to try and kill you. I'm going to push with mass Lurker. And if you don't have ghosts or tanks yet, which I know you don't, you might die to this. REYNOR is looking for one big kill move. You know what? BYUN could base trade. And that's actually the correct play. If they're playing a slow siege unit, it's not going to be as good as your bio in a base trade. He also catches a few Lurkers out in the open. A bunch of other Lurkers do come back from the right. Other Lurkers on the left, they burrowed way too far away. That was a mistake for REYNOR. I was like, where are those Lurkers from the left? They should be here by now. And notice how BYUN's just keeping him pinned. He's also splitting off a quad drop. Lurker harass on the right side, doing a very good job. REYNOR, man, REYNOR is so slippery. I do wonder if REYNOR should drone up though. He's got Lurkers, he can survive, but BYUN's buying a lot of time right now. Lurker does go down. Nice Ling backstab here. Remember, there's still no range upgrades, no +3 carapace, no adrenal glands, and 3-3 is done for the bio. So these Lings, these Lurkers, these Hydras, they're okay, but they are not as high quality as BYUN's. And it looks like REYNOR's just trying to max out. He's going to go for one giant maxed out Lurker army and see what he can get done. Setting off those Widow Mines is REYNOR. It looks like it's time to go. He's going to try and push up the guts. Adaptive Talons is about to finish. The Lurkers burrow. BYUN stims. He pulls back. He's going to look for the surround. Yeah, he's going to look for the big surround on this. I think these guys are going to come in from behind. He's slowing down the push. You can see, yeah, he's pulling it in. Ooh, okay, BYUN's got to be careful. Some nice snipes going down. The Lurker's coming in, but look at that. Beautiful surround by BYUN. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh man, Lurkers are meant to counter this army, but if you surround it like that, there's no Banelings or anything to support it. The Lurkers also didn't have those upgrades like we talked about. Apparently the bio could do okay. He spread a big concave on the front, so they took minimal splash damage and came in with a big surround. Beautiful play by BYUN. That was basically REYNOR's last-ditch effort, guys, man. I realize I have not been breathing enough in this game. It's just been non-stop action. These two going at it is so exciting. Trying to take a breath here, as it does look like REYNOR's chances are running out. The sand is kind of dropping, ticking out of the hourglass, trickling out of the hourglass little by little. And, yeah, I mean, BYUN's got the 5th up. He has to pause there, no doubt, for the wrists, guys. So it looks like BYUN here, even in a slower down situation in the game, had a bit of pain, had to pause for a couple minutes. We can see the longer REYNOR drags this out, the more he makes BYUN work, there is the chance of that injury getting the better of him. REYNOR right now might not feel like there's a good chance for victory in the direct sense, but that's not necessarily what you need to go for. You just need to make him keep playing the game and let that injury do its work. Kind of sucks to say, might not be the most sportsman-like necessarily conduct, but this is a competition, money's on the line, and that's, you know, it's basically what you expect as players to use whatever they can to get the advantages. Those Lurkers getting some volleys off. One Lurker goes down to snipe, but that's a lot of Ghosts and Marauders. Oh man, the Marauders and the Snipes slaying those Lurkers. Ling Run By does get in there for REYNOR. but it's only a couple of Zerglings. The rally will deal with it, and there's just not that many lurkers here. Reynor needs to quickly reposition and get on top. If he could surround this army with like lots of Zerglings at the same time, it'd be a different case, but his lurkers just keep getting shot down. Liberator's going to siege this left side. This Hydra's right there. They should be able to deal with it, but he just uses that as a distraction and shoves in the front. 3 lurkers go down. Make it 4, make it 5, make it 6. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, damn. BYUN treating those lurkers like bubble wrap. GG, well played. All right, guys. Game 5, the decider. BYUN pulling it back right now. On the bottom right side. And you know what's scary? As he goes for yet again. Is this going to be 5 games in a row? Just 2 racks opening? I think it's just his standard opening now. You know what's funny, right? Is Reynor, this is his map. Game 5. This is the map which he is traumatized on. He lost to Oliveira here. Game 5. He's played a bunch of other Game 5s on this map against Terran players where he's lost. He doesn't like being on Babylon for Game 5. It's a small map. And yet he finds himself here again with all of that trauma, all those thoughts in his head of, oh God, not again. But I truly believe that Reynor has the skills to make it happen. I've got to wonder, though, is he going to do the Ro8 style again that he usually, you know, he's had mixed success and failures with on this map. He definitely, for a while, was using a Ro8 style a lot here. I wouldn't mind him just going pure Ling Bane. That is the best style usually for him. I think for BYUN, if he can shut down backstabs and flanks and kind of spot where they're coming from a lot, he can do really well with this Marine tank style. Of course, this map has a lot of crazy stuff going on. There's a little Moopy next to its house, playing the drums on a Space Marine's helmet. Got some other ones just eating some dead animals, because why the hell not? And we've got the giant ribcage of one over here with one kind of dancing above it. Because remember, guys, the hanging Moopies of Babylon, right? You think Babylon, you immediately think about Ewoks dancing. I guess these are like hanging gardens, almost. Not really. It's not really like the sort of tiered thing that comes to mind with like water running through it and everything like that. But not too bad. First Reaper's going to come in. Does arrive a little earlier on this map than other maps. As a result, oh, Reynor with a very cute Evo chamber block trying to trap him in. That costs just as much as a Spore Crawler, so it doesn't cost him any more. And he almost gets the Reaper. Oh, he pulls a drone as well, but that Reddit point Zergling, if it was maybe able to survive 2 hits from the Reaper, that could have worked out. But BYUN slips away, does not lose his first Reaper, and Reynor's fancy tricks not going to net him any victories at the start of this game. Now, interestingly, there's no 4th queen on the way. So it does seem like Reynor probably wants to go straight for a 3rd base. Otherwise, where is that queen right now? Yeah, he's going to try to sneak it out. Okay. So BYUN is not moving from there. Reynor's just waiting. He sends the drone back. Starts a 4th queen. He's realizing, damn it, BYUN's not moving. He keeps expecting BYUN to move from the ramp to go harass him, and BYUN's not doing it. So Reynor's both built quite a few Zerglings and had his 3rd base delayed. This is frustrating. His work account's not where he wants it to be. If he was only at like 5 Zerglings, I think he'd be okay with this. But yeah, he's going to have to go out and try and surround these Reapers. 9 Zerglings does not beat those Reapers, not when they're BYUN Reapers. BYUN doesn't have many ledges to work with this time. Oh, that juke is so good. The way he does the back and forth with the grenades is so slick. He does have an escape point where he can jump up into Reynor's main base. He's going to lose one of those Reapers. So 1 Reaper for 10 Zerglings, guys. Does that seem fair to you? I guess he'd already killed 1 Zergling earlier. So 9 Zerglings for 1 Reaper. So remember, guys, whenever you want to surround BYUN's Reapers, if this is how it does for Reynor, I've got to come up with a rule for the next time I play BYUN in a weekly tournament. I think my rule will be I need 6 Zerglings for every Reaper. So I need 18 Zerglings with speed to take out his 3 Reapers. That's kind of ridiculous, but I mean, if Reynor's doing this bad, that seems to just be the way it is, man. His Reaper Biker is so insanely good. Gets a Zergling, does get a 2nd Zergling, makes it a 3rd, almost gets a 4th. He just escapes again. BYUN is all over him, and you know Reynor's tilted. There is no way Reynor is happy with this, guys. BYUN's also played a super economic follow-up, 3rd command center. Factory is there as well. Ooh. Baneling Nest is on the way. Marines are now coming out. It's not even that big of pressure. But BYUN's killed so many Zerglings, he's like, yeah, let's force him to make more Zerglings. Let's keep his worker count low. Rain is so good mechanically. He's somehow up to 48 drones despite how bad these trades have been. He's building 3 more queens as well, so he should have a very good queen count. But that Overlord looks like a free kill if you ask me. REYNOR leaving that one sticking out. A little bit sloppy from him. Should have known that this army could rotate to the north. Reapers run in, but REYNOR does save the drone, pulls it back. Overlord goes down. And BYUN does not need more damage. He's got double engineering bay, a factory finished. Starport is started. And he is in a very good spot tech-wise. Having stim done, shields and +1 on the way. And what's REYNOR got? No 4th hatchery started. That's okay if you've got a lair and a baneling nest, but the lair's just started. No baneling nest down. Okay, the baneling nest is down, sorry. Correction. He has a baneling nest, he has a lair started, but definitely feels a bit awkward for REYNOR in that regard. He's going to take the 4th base. I mean, supply-wise, he looks good. 10 queens, 55 drones, 22 Zerglings is not bad. But it's the delay on the upgrades that worries me. Remember what happened with the delayed baneling speed in that last game? Well, this time again, we're going to have medevacs hitting the field soon. A big mass of Marines on the front. He's going to be fighting that without actually having access to the defensive tools that you'd usually want. Notice once again, he's getting ready to swap the factory and the barracks. This is such a beautiful part of the build. He's just waiting for combat shields to be done before he does that. BYUN building a depot wall at his 3rd base. He's got a few Reapers spotting for those Ling run by potentials. And 3 more barracks up in the main base as well. Factory should start siege tanks. We'll also see reactors building there. Slight supply blocks for BYUN, but nothing too crazy. His SCV production has been largely uninterrupted. REYNOR's got Spore Crawlers building. 1, 2, 3. And let's be real, even though he took very bad trades with the Zerglings, they were Zerglings dying. They weren't drones. So obviously great opening for BYUN. It's looking good for him. But he didn't do mortal damage. He's built a series of small leads for himself. And REYNOR, despite that, he's spreading creep very well. If he can maintain that kind of high above the battlefield overview where he's spreading creep in all lanes at once, doing some backstabs, I think that's the sort of REYNOR that's so scary to deal with. Remember that BYUN's whole strategy, this tempo-focused style, never going past 65 workers, it seems to very much be focused on taking the momentum away from REYNOR, putting him on the back foot and keeping him there. And if REYNOR can find a way to just keep playing his game and don't tunnel vision, don't get too stressed out by what's happening, find a way to keep that kind of all-encompassing focus, I definitely think he can take out BYUN. I do feel, especially with the pause at the end of that last game, you've got to realize there's got to be cumulative risk damage here. BYUN's going to be very inflamed at this point. He's been on stage for a long 5-game series at this point, and that means he's going to be feeling a lot of pain in his wrists. His micro might not be what it was before. 1-1's done for Terran. 1-1 is almost finished there for Zerg. Baneling speed will be ready before this push comes, so it looks like the delayed baneling speed was not an issue this time around. REYNOR has 80 workers. Whoo! But his army's all together, and it doesn't look that big, guys. It does not look like that big of an army. I really feel like REYNOR needs like a flanking squad of Ling Bane. Looks like a few Banelings that were going to do a run by just got caught there. Yeah, if he can send a squad of Ling Bane to maybe clean up this drop, respread the creep there, and then do a backstab, just anything to get ready to try and surround BYUN. But look at BYUN, his tanks are so far back here. Up on the left gets picked up. Only a few Marines left outside of those medevacs get taken down. The creep is getting pushed back. REYNOR right now has +2 carapace. He's got +1 melee finished. Hydra upgrades are starting. He's going to go towards Hive. +2 melee. He's continuing his tech very well. That's going to put a timer on BYUN. REYNOR is saying, I'm okay to sit here and just turtle up. I'm going to wait for you to expose yourself to me actually flanking you. Oh, that tank position's good though. Look, he's so deep now. He's so deep there. He's cutting off the ramp between the 3rd and the 4th. And the Marines behind the mineral line clean up all the Zerglings. Beautiful play by BYUN. He's got a nice tank position on the front. He's starting to put the pressure on. REYNOR's taking some bad fights here. He's down at about 3-to-1 unit inefficiency. BYUN is hammering him. He does redrop the Marines on the left. The Banelings clear it up. Good hold there by REYNOR. Gets a few Baneling hits here, a few decent ones, but he still has no way to get rid of these siege tanks. He has to flank from the bottom. He's going to try to do that, but a lot of these units are very clumped behind the mineral line. They might get stuck behind the Queens. I'm worried about that. REYNOR's going to have to go for it here. The Lings need to get on top of those siege tanks, and the Banelings need to get on top of the Marines. He does manage to take out the 2 tanks on the left, but still 2 more tanks behind it and a big pack of Marines surviving. BYUN is large and in charge right now, and he is looking for the victory. Oh no, REYNOR. He's going to lose this base and all of these drones. BYUN, oh my gosh, this looks like a game-winning move right here. BYUN is just too good with these pushes on these small maps. Anytime the upgrades are even, he's just shoving in and ruining. He's about to have 2-2 versus 1-1 where he's got the upgrade advantage. That's going to make things even better for him. A few of the drones are hiding in the top. REYNOR's going to try to hang on and survive. He's looking all but defeated at this point, though. If he loses his third, he's back to 3 base. The only thing going for him is there's no fourth for the Terran. This is still just an 8 racks, 3 base push from BYUN. It's a classic 3 base 8 racks with no fourth command center. He's just pumping Marines and tanks, and he's going for broke. BYUN wants the victory, and he wants it now. He picks up 3 medevacs, drops inside REYNOR's main base. Nice play. REYNOR trickling Lings in. His drones are dying. Ling Bane on the front chases back the Marines there. The Marines behind the base take out the infestation. That means no hive for you, REYNOR. The Marines do mostly get saved into the medevacs to come back and fight another day. BYUN's going to rotate south, clearing up these active creep tumors as he goes. These drones trying to find a way home. They are not able to. Refugees stuck in the corner of this map, just hoping they can find a new home. Ling Bane does run into some of these Marines. The Marines spread backwards, though. BYUN's micro is a bit too good, but he's going to lose the siege tanks there. That was an unnecessary push for BYUN. And actually, the medevacs are going to get shot down as well. He's losing the medevacs right now. He's got another army. They're on move command. They're on move command. BYUN move commands his Marines into the army of REYNOR. Oh my god. The army that rotated here did not need to be there. He could have simply pulled this army back from the north, grouped it up with the reinforcements, and had overwhelming forces. Instead, he moves it in, and yes, he microed it well, but it was such a small fragment of his army, he let REYNOR engage it. He also left that siege tank behind. He then brought another army through the middle that was still big enough to probably win the game, and move commanded it into REYNOR's Banelings. Not watching. Those medevacs in the back seem to have been shot down. These Hydralisks and that Spore Crawler cornered them here. Those drops are now gone. He lost the 2 full medevacs, he lost the reinforcing army, and he lost the initial army. That was an absolute disaster. And I've got to say that the risks have to be involved. There's no way that BYUN makes that mistake normally. Why is he leaving tanks behind, and why are those units move commanding in? BYUN starting to kind of headbutt a little bit at that point when he had victory within his grasp. Now, I still think he's in a good spot because REYNOR's economy absolutely sucks tentacles right now. That's what the Zerg's saying. Sucks tentacles. It's not a good position. He's on 59 drones. He's just got a 4th base up. BYUN sees the Hydra's there. He's going to unload, pick off a Baneling and a Hydra, and then pick up. 1 Baneling, 2 Zerglings. Oh! What the hell was that? Why'd he run forward there? That was so bizarre. I think BYUN's wrists are really hurting him right now, guys. This is really, really heartbreaking to see, but he's still got victory in his grasp. He just needs to do a big frontal push, a big, slow frontal push. He can definitely deny this base in the north, but I don't think that's the priority. I think pushing through the middle towards the 3rd and the 4th down there are actually the higher priority. But he's going to try and push this way. Here we go. Scan would be very nice right now. I guess he's very low on scans. Otherwise, he would have dropped one just then. He has lifted his orbital out, so his 4th is actually his 3rd base. BYUN's not expanding. He's still just massing Marines right now. He's got only 3 siege tanks, a 4th one on the way. REYNOR's actually rebuilt an infestation, is making a hive. Hive does counter this. I mean, BYUN basically, if he's not going to take a base, he has to push. So he has to unsiege his tanks, and he needs to push towards this angle right now, in towards the natural. That's the only choice open to him that makes sense with where he's at economically. This army for REYNOR might get a little bit cornered, actually. BYUN playing a little cautiously, though. And look at that nice hot pickup by BYUN. BYUN still in this with a massive Marine count. More Marines than there are Zerglings. 95 Marines in this game. There's only 19 Banelings. There's no Lurkers just yet. Vipers will deal with the tanks, but as long as the Marines are pre-spread, he'll do well. Especially if his wrists are hurting him, BYUN needs to pre-spread his Marines. He can't micro this as reactively well as he normally does, but notice his instincts are kicking in. His instincts are to clump in a big ball and react at the last second. He desperately needs to make sure he pre-spreads. The tank Marine comes forward. He's very deep on creep. He needs more scans. He needs to stop dropping mules and make sure everything is scans to clear the creep. And pretty decent spread on the Marines. The tanks are coming forward. I mean, if he had another command center, another factory on the way, I feel like BYUN could play a longer game. But instead, he feels like it's on him to just keep forcing fights and winning this way. And that could work, but look at what REYNOR's done. He's got 4 Vipers. They're gathering energy. If he comes in and Blinding Clouds every tank and a lot of the Marines, that's going to be a big problem for BYUN. Look, he's pushing deep on creep right now. Those Blinding Clouds could ruin him. Where are the Vipers? Where are the Vipers? They're coming in. REYNOR's coming around for the flank right now. He's going to intercept the rally. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. The Viper's coming in with the Parasitic Bomb. Banelings, the whole Marine army on creep, surrounded from 3 sides. Parasitic Bombs blanket the Medivacs. And BYUN getting stubbornly all in there, but the tech came out to stop it. Even the full Medivac goes down. And a heartbreaking loss for BYUN and an incredible comeback for REYNOR there. Beautiful play by REYNOR, but 100% we saw there the impact of REYNOR just making it so hard to finish him in the previous game. That was a crazy set of circumstances in this game. And let me just break down quickly where BYUN screwed up, because this was a near perfect game for BYUN at this point, and this is where BYUN starts to screw up. So he reinforces a few more Marines and tanks. Fair enough. All good, all good. He's doing a crazy good drop in the main. And all he needed to do was pull this drop back. If you leave it in the back of the base, no worries, that's fine. And then you just want to kind of gather all your forces, clear this creep here, bring them together, bring all of the siege tanks down, and work your way around to push the other side. But you don't need to rush it. You can take your time with this, right? And notice just how many units he has chilling at home right now. And he kind of gives away this army, right? A little bit. Oh, it's not. I'm exaggerating it. My language is a bit strong. He basically goes a bit too far forward with the Marines, way too deep on creep. The tanks are way too far behind. One of them is not even part of fighting. And the thing is, you got to remember, why is that so important? This is a 1 factory style, guys. He's got 8 barracks, all with reactors. Every single one with reactors. So he can build 16 Marines at a time, only 1 tank at a time. You lose your tanks, you can't rebuild them very quickly. There's no 2nd factory. There's no 4th command center. So those tanks are absolutely sacred. So to lose them in kind of no man's land here, pretty far away from this 3rd or 4th base, when there was no pressure on you to do that, definitely showed a bit of over-eagerness, right? Definitely. And this is, of course, the cherry on top, which is he then move commands his army. You can see they are move commanded to this green circle, and that never gets corrected here. They just, some of them start fighting because they touch the point on the ground. They go, oh, move command complete, we can start fighting. But all the Marines in the back are still move commanding in. And it's that on top of the previous fight that's a big problem. Now, where was BYUN looking at that moment? I'm pretty sure he was looking at the drop that was getting cornered. So the drop was getting cornered there by the Queens. He move commands it. He looks back at the drop. The Hydras kill it. He looks back at his base, lifts his base, transfers his workers, looks back at his army, and he just was not expecting REYNOR's army to be in the middle of the map. He loses the other medevac, and everything has fallen apart oh so quickly. This is really sad for me to see, because you know BYUN was trying to win quickly because he could feel the pain and everything. It's kind of sad, but I'm really happy that he's seeking treatment. Hats off to REYNOR, because it's always a 2-part story. I don't want to feel like, oh, REYNOR's so shit, he didn't deserve to be in the semis. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying it how it is, guys, and definitely BYUN made some big mistakes. I'm sure REYNOR would agree with me. And I think you've got to give REYNOR credit for the fact that only a very, very excellent player like REYNOR, who's playing fantastic StarCraft, would have been in a position where he's able to come back anyway, right? If he wasn't cornering that drop and quickly counterattacking into the middle, and doing so good at bouncing up new hatcheries and splitting his army up, he would never have had this opportunity to come back. BYUN would have got through these mistakes without being punished, and it would have been a different story. As it is, though, hats off to REYNOR. GG, well played.